Hey everyone, happy Friday. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. I have a very special surprise for you today because I'm going to be talking about a recent experience I had. I am still in Massachusetts visiting my family. Coincidentally, so it's been on my bucket list since sixth grade. I have always dreamed about meeting the Spice Girls, my favorite group. And Mel C specifically is my favorite singer. I have all her solo albums. I'm always keeping up to date with what her and the other girls are doing. So back to what I was saying, coincidentally, she was recently in New York doing a book signing for her autobiography, The Sporty One. And I was like, fate, I've been wanting to meet her, like I said, since sixth grade. So I went to New York for a day and I got to meet her. So I'm going to tell you about that experience. And then I also just finished reading her autobiography. So I'm going to talk about that. But so I went to New York for the day. She was doing a signing at Barnes and Noble. And I've never been to a book signing to meet someone before like that. So it was a very unique experience, especially considering what I do for work as a book cover photographer. The conventions I go to, was much different, on a different scale. So you had to buy a ticket, and then with that ticket you got to see her live discussion, which was about 45 minutes. There was someone that was interviewing her and asking her questions like, how did the Spice Girls come about? And then there was also a portion where people from the audience got to ask her questions, which that was really cool. Questions like, what was it like for her meeting Lisa Left Eye Lopez and working with her? That's also mentioned in the book. And then questions like, does she think the Spice Girls would ever make more music together? Which she was kind of hesitant, saying that they wouldn't want to. They're scared what if the new music doesn't live up to their original music, which I get that, but fingers crossed. I would love for them to release new music. And then like, would the Spice Girls ever do a residency? She definitely wants them to go on tour again. So fingers crossed that hopefully happens. So then after the discussion, we got to line up and then go on stage to meet her. It happened so fast, like in the blink of an eye, but she was so sweet and so nice. And I pretty much said, hi, my name is Chris. I've been a fan of yours since sixth grade. I love you so much. Thank you for everything. And then have fun in LA, because she was going to LA the next day to promote the book further. Yeah, it happened so fast. We did get to take a picture together, which I love the picture. I'm going to frame it to put it up in my condo. So then this is her book, The Sporty One. It's pretty long. It's about almost 400 pages. And then there's also pictures in the book, which she doesn't love a good picture. This one is so cool. The girls performing back in the day. And then the 97 and 98 Brit Awards, which was so cool. So she pretty much covers her whole life from being a child through 2022. It is pretty heavy at certain points because she is talking about things that were hardships in her life, like her parents getting divorced when she was little, and as well as her eating disorders, which she's been very candid and open about. And though this isn't a self-help book, she says she wrote it in part because hopefully it can help other people in their lives. And the quote she has on the back of the book was, "I never told my story before because I wasn't ready. Now finally I am." And then So my part that I loved the most in the book really was how the Spice Girls formed, which I thought I knew pretty well, but there were a lot of parts about it that I didn't know. And then just like how the girls never took no for an answer. They had a dream, they went out, and they made it happen and became the biggest selling girl group of all time, still to this day. So what resonated with me is when I was growing up in sixth grade, when I first became a fan of theirs, was I just loved their attitude and their energy. Their music always made me so happy, no matter what my mood was. If I was happy or sad, if I had a bad day, I would just always listen to their music, and they just made me feel so much better. What I also liked about the meet and greet, it was a lot of people told their stories about how she saves them in different ways, and how just like her music and her everything just really helped them through hard times, which I can definitely agree with, and feel the same. She was so sweet in person, and I really enjoyed this book. I think if you're a fan of the Spice Girls or a fan of hers, you'll really get a lot out of this book. I read it pretty fast, but my favorite parts were how the group started, and just like an insider knowledge from her perspective of how different things affected her life, and how through all the hardships she still wouldn't have changed a thing. She's getting the chance to live her dream. One of my favorite quotes from the book, page 103, was, "When the five of us were together, we felt unstoppable." And I really believe that, especially with everyone was always telling the men, telling them no. The men were saying that only men sold albums, only men sold magazines. But Spice Girls proved that wasn't the case, because they completely dominated the industry. I could literally go on and on for hours about this, but I'm gonna try to keep this video short. Special thank you to Melanie C for doing the book signing in New York. It was so much fun, once in a lifetime opportunity. I had a blast. I can't believe that I got to check that moment off on my bucket list. So I highly recommend you read The Sporty One by Melanie C. And yeah, leave me a comment if you've read it or you're going to read it, and tell me what you thought about it. Have an awesome weekend, everyone.